right, folks, we are multitasking today, and let's get right to it. How you doing? Welcome back on a Tuesday, post-Labor Day. Let the games begin. A little late today because I had my gold session. We're looking at this setup, looking for a turnaround midday on this NASDAQ down 475. Waiting for this big trigger down here, 55 to 45. Not yet. Let's see how it goes. And what's going on? Yeah, we got a lot to get to today. A lot to talk about. NASDAQ, Bitcoin, Nvidia. Hold on. Here we got NASDAQ flirting with lows of the day, 475. A couple of things that I was pointing out just recently. Hold on. Man, my throat. Just not ready to give it up yet for the day, so let's be patient with this. A few interesting things like QQQ right now. Some big patterns on a 5-minute basis. We're just waiting for them to hit. Big deep crab or regular crab, 465. It's a throwdown move. That's all. Since last week. We go to the daily, the weekly. Let's go to the weekly really quick. This is probably the big number on the weekly that is going to check back. What was that, 3 weeks ago? To get some kind of dot, maybe 448. Is that possible? Maybe on this check back, but nothing changes this. Nothing changes that. We're still on that uptrend. Hold on. So for today, I'm looking for that larger low right in this area, but we need some development. So for my crew, guys, I haven't done it yet. I'm pulling the trigger right down here in the 50 area. There you go. Jeez. What's going on, chat? Great to see everybody today. Listen, get over to harmonictrader.com. Get your 2-week free trial. Send your TradingView username to hpc at sr-analyst.com. And part of what we're doing with gold memberships, which you now get a 1-month gold membership when you purchase, is doing live sessions like we did today. You have any questions, get to me over at harmonictrader.com. Everybody else that are members, welcome. Great to see everybody. And part of what, hold on, we're doing, gotta check out my crew. So hit the like, hit the subscribe coming in, get the updates. And let's see, this is looking better now, guys. For our 55 to 45 trigger. There you go, that's the first thing. Now, listen, really quick. If we're going to get this signal for the day, really important, I'm trying to bring this live action. We have to get above 50 there. This has got to turn up above 50 too. We will monitor that throughout the session here. I'm looking for this to turn up. I did want to say this. Look, what's down here? We're below a crab pattern. Actually, a couple patterns from last week. Shark, that was pointing as low as 285. And then the hop level 176. That was our target. So this is really the first shot off of the T2 crab down here with that dot. If we go to NASDAQ hourly or 4-hour, yeah, there's some things that look ugly, but you're getting lower here on the hourly time frame. That's got to come back. Yeah, around one. Yeah, we're for today. That's all I'm talking about. This pretty much sets us up for the retest. Are we going to go back to this deep crab eventually at some point in September before we could resume the uptrend. These are some considerations to think about. Absolutely. Going forward, 4-hour time frame is like this. You know, with the washout today, looking like we want to run down to at least hit oversold. Let me make that clearer. Let's make that white. Great. We're working with Harmonic Pattern Collection, guys. Yeah, look. This thing is really stubborn right now. We spent in my session, we were in here for the last hour. I caught the first shot, and I'm going to try to do simultaneous, do this and on my other screen. The bat on the 32nd, but no confirmation. Let's give that a little time. Give that a little time. Anybody, please bark into the chat if anything pops up. You guys are monitoring. What's going on, folks? What's up? Mr. Ken, David, Hawk, welcome back. What's up, Kat? Rogelio, Carthago, Victoria, all my crew. Great to see everybody. Justin, what's up? You know, guys, it's gonna get me. I'm gonna have to go here. We're gonna have to go here because look, 30-second time frame. See, there's the 32nd. I was just talking for a while about getting above the 50. Getting above the 50 level on HSI to send this free. I think it's a huge area for early. You know, it's a throwdown move today. There's in the 5-minute. Yeah, we haven't turned back up. That needs to happen, so I'll be patient on this. One of the things I've been stressing with what we're doing in these live trading sessions, and we literally just started them like 2-3 weeks ago. How do we know we have a runner? How do we know we have confirmation? You get a pattern like that. You get a dot like this. And still play the trigger, but we need to get above 50. Like, it's really simple in terms of coming into the market and saying, all right, 5-minute HSI, which is our primary intraday signal, is that up or down? I think we can all agree that's down. Okay. What's this amplified doing? It's just hasn't gotten above the 50 yet. In fact, going back down. So I'm not really looking for anything until that can prove itself. We can turn around pretty quickly. Wouldn't take more than 2 or 3 bars, but it's just not yet. So be aware of it. I definitely think this is just overrunning the hop level. And you're down 500, so come on. Ain't a thing. Ain't a thing. Hold on. Let me bring this back up. Let's look at S&P really quick. ES, down a bunch. Yeah, I think it's down 100. That's a little different story. A whole bunch of HSI, low, bearish HSI down there. Here's the interesting thing on S&P is that with today's meltdown, look, we had a check back yesterday, or excuse me, we had a check back last week on the daily. Today, you're getting a dot. And what do we know about dots? They can be strong and they have development behind them. So it's going to be a fun month. Think of it that way. Also, think about the fact that we're going to get past November. We're going to get past all of this nonsense going on here over in the United States, and we're going to get on with things. But in the meantime, you know, I'm going to respect the fact that that reaction for now, trying to at least cap it. And yeah, there's a lot of on the S&P. It's probably clearer with today's move down under the 50. Here, you're at the 50 level, trying to run it down. And so there's some sell side pressure into the week, obviously. The weekly, though, much like NASDAQ, has another HSI oversold that registered on the rebound of the crash from August. Have we seen this before? Sure. Where? Well, there, but that had no check back. This is headed for a check back, much like I would say back here. You go back to it's at May 22 towards the low. Doesn't take more than like a bar or two. I think if you're gonna crash out that low at 55.53, probably more downside here. I'm not look, guys. Embrace this. I really we want that because this channel is not going to stop. That's just going to take us into next year. So if it's lower in the channel to retest that HSI at like 53, 54, or even lower, 52.50, something like that for an eventual washout move, not a deal. It's just not a deal because we're at all-time highs. We've smashed them. The monthly does have my attention where incredibly last month I thought we would get a dot. Now, the dot that we're looking at on the monthly chart, okay, wouldn't be official, and it doesn't need to signal even, but it wouldn't be official until the end of the month. Maybe that would cap it or at least slow down the progress. Probably that's your worst dot in the last few years there in 2022. And then 2018, where both of them were eventually retested. It all really just depends on where does that complete? Is that going to happen this month? Then we would say, okay, let's fill this channel a little bit and let's just slow up the progress. And I don't think that's crazy. There's going to be a lot of people are not certain on the market, and a lot of times they'll tend to throw them away. We got to look at Nvidia because it's down to the 108 level that I talked about the last few weeks. We had a couple things here. We had a bat pattern, and don't get me wrong, we had that sell the earnings news. Okay, and I'm not concerned about that because when Nvidia does overtake all-time highs, there's nothing above that to stop the progress for now. We got a few things here. Are we down there yet? Yeah, we're oversold. We're already on the 4-hour basis. Okay, HSI is already oversold. It's just going to take, with today's drop, take a little more time. And what is here is a target 1 off of a bat, which I think I referenced. Well, there's no a type 2 on this bat. Where's my bearish bat though? Hold on. So we've been looking at 108, 106 to 108, I think. Let me get that back up. Where's my bat pattern? Hold on. Yeah, there's a bullish bat there, but that's not what I'm referencing. We have, hold on. Yeah, if you turn on the bearish bat patterns, then you'll get it. Save. And there it is. So it's a target 1. Let me clean up the chart for everybody. And this is why we're down. You know, it's just take some profits. There's target 1, 110. That's on the 4-hour. I think the hourly a little bit cleaner. There you go. 110. It's 110 to 103. So level hit, target 1 level hit, HSI trying to come out of the zone. All of this is super constructive. And you know what? Let's see what happens by tomorrow or coming into Thursday. But you retest that bat. That's a gift. That's a gift and a half. And here's NASDAQ coming back. So there you go. And daily almost oversold. All right, I got to go back to NQ. Guys, I think we're almost ready on that trigger for NQ. Where's the 5-minute? Come on. Here we go. looks like garbage, but can we get that? There you go. That's exactly what I was talking about. Spent like an hour trying to say, can we get that to turn up and get above the 50? This to turn up and get above the 50 again? I'll watch that. Hey, if somebody sees that turn up above 50, please put it in the chat. Okay. What's going on? Great to see everybody. You got it. What's up, Lawrence, Rodrigo, Daniel? I'm doing well. Really, I had a good few days. I had to take a good few days and just get ready for what is to come, which is really, you go to our calendar here, incredibly, we are 8 weeks away, which is good. I'm so ready. I don't care how it goes. One side, the other side. I'm ready for this election stuff to be over. I think everyone is. And I don't, honestly, folks, I have a free market candidate and I have another candidate. But I'm just, I really don't want to participate. I know it's tough for some people when I tell them that, but let's just get on with it. We've seen worse. Let's get back to a little talk on Nvidia. Here's the NVDL. Okay, and we did put in a dot last week, but this is what we've got here, and this makes sense to me, where the NVDL to go back to XA level and retest that bat before we continue this uptrend. This is the Granite Share 2X, and it's either the level or HSI. We don't always have to go right there, so we are getting oversold with today's action. I think you do some work this week, and then Nvidia is ready for another jump on point. It's not going to stop. I mean, I want to show everybody a couple of things, just so we get our heads on right. Okay, where are we in this crazy cycle? Because people are calling for a crash. People are calling for World War III. I'm not one of them, but we have to look at this type of trending behavior. Where have we seen this again? I posted something I think some people thought was ludicrous on X recently, and looking for essentially like 180. How do we get to 180? It's pretty much the next wave up, like a 1618, 1902 overspill move. There's the 1618, like 170 something, 171 with a 1902 overspill, which I think that's like 183. That should be in the back of your head going forward, where this does not stop. And then something I've done on the Discord, I introduced it, that we've got, I'm doing a forever stocks. What are the stocks that we can buy and hold in the same way? Like, instead of Bitcoin, just Bitcoin, what stocks can you do that with? Well, here's Apple. And I want to show some interesting dynamics, like longer term on Apple, where if you look at Apple's history, and Apple recently hit a weekly, monthly dot, but where have things gone crazy before, like Nvidia? And you have to come back. I would argue that Nvidia is a lot like Apple. All right, all the way back here, took out the trend line, took out this long-term trend channel. We pierced it, back tested it, and we went into a whole new phase. I mean, that low in 2020, that was $60, maybe $55 for a 5X in 4 years. 5X on a multi-billion-dollar company. I got to go on. Here's NASDAQ. NASDAQ is popping. Let me go to NQ really quick, and if I can bring in my execution platform, I will. Really quick, let me come back to that. So let me be clear. Every sell-off is a buying opportunity, damn it. Every sell-off. And like August, when I was away, there she goes. Are we above the 50? We're getting there. But I want you guys to think that and just be patient with this market. Let it do what it's doing. If it's, treat it like it's Bitcoin, like it's garbage action, and it's just you're waiting for a million a coin, because clearly what has to happen in this country of the printer going on in a major way is it is shaping up like that. There's NQ. We're probably one more bar away where the trigger is off of that dot right there. What's that? 55 again. 55 to 45. So it's poking. I like it. I'll go 1 at 55. Come on down. And we come down to 45. I'll add to that. But get on through. Poke it and go. But that's really for today. Okay, micro, yeah, 55. Okay, 1, and I'll add more. Can we get above here with this 50 level? Go. Yeah. That for me is kind of the longer term possibility of what we're looking at currently. Like, I think they're playing games with it. Today's a game. Tomorrow's a game. And they're going to keep playing games, and they're going to use the excuse of the election and civil war and all of this World War III talk to scare you the heck out of the fact that they are printing this. They're printing the denominator. What do we do here? We've got, BTC, USD, or NASDAQ, or Apple. They're all against the dollar. Okay? They're all against the dollar. And the dollar it's all currencies are getting devalued, but against the dollar in terms of that purchasing power it doesn't necessarily mean that we have improved financial conditions. Clearly, that's not the case. It's more about the fact that the devaluation of the dollar and the increase of the global money supply continues to be the underlying theme, that's not going to stop. Hold on. Hold on. Come on. You got to get above the 50 here. Get above the 50 and go. Hold on, guys. In about a minute, I'm going to add to that. What do we got time-wise? I'm looking for a major low of the day right here. Let's see what happens. Let me come back to this. Just watch it. Watch it get above the 50 on both of these to try to really get progress here. Go to the QQQ while we're doing this. Long term. All right, down here we know the situation on the weekly here. Come on back down, but the uptrend is still intact. And we failed this. There you go. You failed this big pattern, the shark. And sharks fail. And we should talk about, I'm going to talk about this because that's a precursor to Bitcoin, quite frankly, where Bitcoin is just getting squeezed. And Bitcoin is, it could grind in a really challenging fashion for folks because it's not moving and just go sideways and just, take people, just toy with people's emotions because everyone's looking for that to go up and down. Really up after the halving. Hold on. And Bitcoin, we're going to know. I'll go to Bitcoin in a second. Bitcoin is everything on this market. It is the whole enchilada for crypto. And if it's not going to make the move now, and we're going to kind of like just screw around, which I think it is, then it's going to push off possibilities until much later. You know, then you're looking at things not happening until the end of the year. There's the cues. There's our 5 minute, and does not look like it wants to push. We got to get above that 50 level on the cues. Let's take a quick look at Bitcoin. Here. Coinbase. 50 under 58 again. Well done. Here's the weekly. This is the only thing we need to consider. Here's that 50 level. Can you get above that 50 level on the weekly? And we're trying to put in yet another dot. And I think this is probably more aggravating for people than even going down. But we're just scraping it. What the important thing is here is we get a left shoulder. We get that candle, throw down hammer. We need to have to. And I would think with Bitcoin, the real situation is if we're green this week, then we might have something. If we're red this week, forget about it. If we're red, then it won't be till November. Like it won't start moving until after the election, which could happen because people have no clue. People do not. They're basing it off of who wins the election, in my opinion. But the signal is not ready there. It's not above the 50, just like Nasdaq's not above the 50 yet. Not the way it should be. And we should be looking for this resolution. You're down here on the low end, and then we're waiting. You know, give me green candles. Probably, I've been saying you needed 2 green candles. There's one, but we need a second. And we need this HSI value to turn up to basically resolve the whole. It's a sideways oversold signal, which is challenging to say the least, but it's like this. Where are you? Here it is. Where's my shark to 5-0? It is a shark, and I wanted to compare this to the Nasdaq. Sorry. Is it Binance feed? Come on. Oh, I bet you I've got it turned off again. No, I have it. It is a weekly shark. Nope. Where'd you go? Shark to 5-0 on Bitcoin. So what are you looking for? And I've been saying this channel, this is the channel, end all be all channel since the shark. Okay. Within that downtrend channel, what's going on here? A couple of oversold counter signals. That's fine. I'm fine with that. We don't have to get to 45K, but we do have to resolve the channel. It's either counter HSI, which we did. I would have loved to have tagged 45.7. I would have been feeling a lot better. And this dot's not official until Sunday, so it's going to be a big week. I mean, now it's go time. We're not screwing around anymore with summer action or light volume. I mean, everybody's back. Crypto, stocks, futures, whatever, bonds, which are tanking. But it's go time, so settle in. I won't be taking a day off probably until Thanksgiving. My favorite holiday. Yeah, I love turkey that much. But that's where we're at. And so I'm not too concerned either. Resolve the consolidation, so that we can return at least back for an 886 test. But is it here? Is it 56, 57, or is it 45? Because break it to a 4-hour. This keeps happening too. All right, Gartley at 56.3. And the other thing is the 4-hour, not enough strength where 1 and 2 and 3 HSI signals just keep on pushing it lower. And that's just another sign that it's going to take more time. And it's pretty lame to say that, but that's what's happening. And at least, we've gotten that portion of it right. Bearish ABCD on the monthly for Bitcoin, like this. Not really. All it is a 113. Let me put the thing back on. I take off the ABCDs because you just get too many patterns. But I'll put it on like that. I really want to deal with completed patterns. What's 57? Look, I'm not going to disagree. You have monthly signals. There's a secondary dot, and what's that from? Well, this dot is from that signal. We do have a secondary, so there. Again, the monthly close is critical. Critical. But we're in this pause phase off of that shark that has just been, it's a sideways grind, but I don't disagree. This is so close on the weekly level that you don't want to turn down. You turn down, then we're talking November. If you turn up, then you're talking next 3 to 4 weeks. We can get some production to move forward. It's just that is really tight. The last time we've seen that, you'd have to go back probably, not necessarily at the low, but we're looking more like this kind of a thing to happen. You go sideways grind, and this is off of that bearish signal, February, and then you don't get another signal till September, where we've seen that before. April, October, that kind of a thing. It's probably the most difficult read. I would have rather been at a pattern level and say, okay, yeah, we're gonna go now and hit the pattern with confirmation, but that's not what's going on here. So give it time. The monthly chart, yeah, I'm respecting that. Okay, it's obviously not what people want to happen. And I wouldn't say, if you're saying ABCD, you'd have to say like this. From where? From there to there. And then what's that? It's like a 786 almost. So it's not an ABCD. It's just not there, guys. I'm not. I think the shark to 5.0 thing here, if I'm just reading the pattern, take it all out. This is the other way that I help to, really for me, it helps to assess is there's 30-bar window, and that's a few weeks away. So you don't have to do anything, which can drive people nuts. But if it just goes sideways, 57 or whatever, that's fine. And then you're gonna do some kind of big move. But for us, again, that's the big move, and that's Harmonic Strength Index. And I'm willing to be patient with the whole thing until we can get that to really trigger. All right, hold on. Great. Couple more. I think we should take a peek at total before we get out of here. Total like this. There's total doing the same thing. Hold on. There goes NASDAQ. Total is right back where it should be, but this is really trying to hit it, pierce it, and just stabilize and go. You're looking for this, and again, this is what everyone should be following. Get up. Get up above the 50. Turn up. All of that bullish readings there. They need to see bullish candles and get above the 2 trillion mark. But you're definitely getting squeezed there. That hammer's got to hold. Like I said, you can spend a few more weeks here, but then turn back up. So there's very little room. And dare I say that left shoulder is pretty much what people are, I think most people are trying to signal on, that you've got a left shoulder and then you're trying to put in a right shoulder and then go. I'm seeing that quite a bit. But just wait. Wait on that. I know people are really on edge with the lack of formation here, lack of follow through, but it's because we're under the 50 level. We can describe that. We can really paint that picture here. And not to mention this back down like that needs to turn up, and then everything's red. You know, it's a kind of bleeder red today. Let's look at quick Ethereum, some of the big ones. Maybe the strongest one that I feel like has got something to it is Binance Coin, and that is perfect 5.0 confirmation coming in a little high here, which you don't want to see, but you're retesting it now. That was really a fast 5.0, shark to 5.0. That's what I was thinking Bitcoin could do. Doesn't have to do it, but at least we know that reaction just stopped there. I mean, that's like dead harmonic right there. So it's really coming together. And I think the standouts of everything that has been shaping up, where the cemetery crypto are pretty clear, and we know which ones we're going to avoid. The cemetery crypto just is it's those crypto that are doing nothing, and they're pretty obvious. We're going to avoid them. But Binance Coin, that's constructive, and that's got trend, it's got pattern, it's got signals. You know, another daily here. Hold on. And so a lot of that makes sense to me. I'm thinking that it's we're just a matter of time. So Binance Coin, and let's isolate the ones that are the strongest versus the ones that are, take out the ones that aren't, the Cardanos of the world. To me, that just, you're going to be swimming in muck for a while until that really gives you anything. Let's peek at Cardano. For Binance Coin, I would just be lining up the next dot or whatever. If we get that next dot, then we go. Hold on. Here's Cardano. Yeah, I'm multitasking at the moment. I hope my crew knows what that means. Here's Cardano, 32, Talk to me at 27, please. 27 cents or 25 harmonically. You know, give me something up there that at a minimum I could sink my teeth into if I even cared about it. But I think it's critical that everyone understand that this stuff is just, it was played out in 2020 and it's not coming back. And that's a disappointment for a lot of the Cardano people, but it's a slow grind. You've seen that before. It's definitely, you know, you want to see all crypto moving, but that's not the story here. And even this, you know, that crab pattern tells me this was a big impulsive move, and that was it. So you know, sorry, Hoskinson, whatever your coin does, it's not catching a bid. It's not in demand. And then you have this monthly situation that, oh, I don't know. It just not sustaining. And I go to Solana as an example of a big cap that, even despite the pullback, look, that's something I can get into. If I was looking for another position or a continuation of this whole progress, go to the weekly. Okay, here you are. You're back at oversold 120. Daily type 2. Where's the trigger? Probably your next dot. Your next dot probably gets you where you need to go. And that's 121 or wherever the dot is. Wherever that dot is, that's all I care about. Beyond that, I'm fine with it. And assuming that's a high level, because we don't want to see it under 95. Okay, you want it to hold up in here. It's still a connect the dots butterfly to go to price discovery areas, which is 360. But it's only going to do that if we get the continuation to begin, and that's another weekly trigger. Look, like here. There you go. Get it up above the 50 level, please. Hold on. Okay, forget that. Total monthly is a dot. It is a dot. But look, you can have just a reaction on that. I mean, you have monthly dots all over the place. There's a monthly dot. Okay, but the reaction pause here, that's what you're looking for. You're just looking for kind of a sideways grind for that to then turn back up with all of these. The one that has got me, that's kind of in between but extremely disappointing, is Ethereum. Ethereum's got, you know, it broke that structure at 2650, 29, and here you go. And you have a daily situation going on. Needs to check back. Here's another situation where you're not even making progress above that the 50 line on anything. So be aware of that. I just think it's, you know, the other cemetery crypto, there's obvious. It's Cardano, it's Chili's, it's, you know, it's all of those token coins that are garbage, that are not doing anything, like Cartesi, you know. How many times I've heard, oh, use case. There's no use case if you're at all-time lows. The use case is to go in the garbage can. Quite frankly, I'm not. For me, that doesn't really. There's nothing there that I could say, hey, that asset is trending. Okay, the 50 level poking up through the weekly level, but at what point? And I think this is just an honest assessment of what's going on. Okay, there's so many better stocks, futures, what have you, that are doing things that this is not. That's cemetery crypto by every stretch of the imagination, and you can go across the board. Other things that sound really spicy, like FET AI and others, um, have have more work to do. That's it. They have, like, here's FET AI with a dot on the weekly. The daily's like this with a big fat Gartley pattern, but you're going back into the zone now. That's trouble. That's not what you want to see. You want to see this thing go here and make massive progress and get to target one. It didn't do that. And you went to counter HSI, and we're back into the zone at a buck. And I would say FET's probably not until those full retests there. It's just not. It's not in the position I thought it would be. And we've been lining this up for a long time. It's not going to be ready until it signals. I think with the games that they're playing as well, they're gonna move it around. They've got full control of this. HNT, who's that? What's up, Lawrence? He wants to look at HNT. Probably one of the strongest ones we've seen, but I'm not there. It's a type 1 that did the kind of things you need to see with a few dots there at $3. We talked about that a while back, but it has been the exception to the story. There you go. HNT, yeah, you're at target 1 at 750, so not yet. Here's the one that really I think is a scam and a half. Because who got involved? Somebody got involved with this H-bar. Sorry if you're in this. I don't mean it's a scam, but this was a rug pull of the biggest order, and on some kind of institutional announcement. I can't do this. I can't talk positively about stuff like this, even with dots and patterns, when they're breaking trend and breaking new lows. Couple more. Not to harp. I want to stay positive, but there's a ton of these out there. Here's one that I am looking at that when it does trigger, it's one of our T coin specials. It's ORDI. Okay, weekly oversold. Great. That's a starting point. That's not a decision factor. It's a starting point. Daily patterns. Yes. Bat pattern, sure. Where's confirmation? It's not 32. It's more like 26, 27. And we still have to break out of the downtrend. So these have more work to do. And Bitcoin will dictate by Sunday. I mean, absolutely Sunday. Sunday. If it's a green candle, okay, then we turn it up. If it's a red candle, talk to me in 2 months. We've given it time, and it's just right on the edge there. Like here. Let's go back to this. And I love everything about Bitcoin, okay? The idea, the fandom, the fact that big guys are sticking their money in there. Impressive that they're all in. Although, I will say, it was interesting. Michael Saylor sold like 500 million MicroStrategy. I doubt all of that went to Bitcoin. Although he said he wanted to increase his personal holdings. I don't think so. But look, when this happens, and it'll happen, we will get above the 50 on Bitcoin. It's just a matter of when. We need a big candle this week to even do it. But you're at a point where if you don't print a single green candle, then I'm going to say shark to 50, 45K, where that won't turn on, and you're going to have to wait longer at a lower price. Little frustrating, I know, for a lot of people, because We were thinking, yeah, the halving will happen, and then a few months later, you should get going. I mean, you still the story. Sure. Couple more. Yeah, I can look at a few of those. What is hot? Hey, Nick, what's going on? Hot. HOT. Holo. Can't do it. No, thank you. I can't do this. I don't. No matter what. Why? Because you're going to go through many months before that does anything. And I would say if you know something secret, you're the founder, or you know somebody's going to come in and do a big institutional buy, it's not going to happen. It's not going to move. You're not going to get the buying pressure you need until Bitcoin turns back up. I mean, weekly oversold, yes. Daily, okay. Great pattern, sure. I love the patterns, and they are my primary framework for everything. But how many of these have gone up, back down? You do a zigzag, and on a percentage basis, let's say you're in here at a dot at 1.25, and it goes at 2 cents. Holy smokes, that's 75 cents. Only to find yourself back down, giving it all back. This isn't 30 days even. It's not even 30 days. So, the trending crypto things that I've mentioned previously, it's important that that's a part of the plan. Yeah, I'll circle back to Tesla and a few others. Let's get off of these T coins here. One or two more. How about Neil? Welcome back, Neil. How was your holiday? Hope everything's going well with you. Neil, one of our longtime listeners. SUI. Big Shark. Great. That's a start. The shark is a start. Do we have a dot? Like, what's the last dot? You guys get the software and you're going through your favorite crypto. Well, what's the last dot? Bullish or bearish? Bearish. We do have a bullish arrow here. Okay. That could be a secondary shot off the pattern. I do like the fact that you have a couple of oversold signals down here. Okay. What about a better feed, a little longer term? There's Bybit. There's Binance. Okay. I like that. But we need development. Are we above the 50 on the weekly yet? Yeah. All right, now get this above the 50, and then maybe you have something. I mean, something where it can really go, guys. And that's what I'm trying to. First of all, I'm trying to remove the things that are garbage, and then try to highlight what are the signals where this stuff can really go. Because if not, you might ride something up and then right back down. And then that's not why we're here. We want to isolate the best candidates and act on the clearest of triggers. Sure, I'll get to those. Hey, Barney, PAX G versus BTC. I like PAX G because that's the gold one. And gold, no matter what, gold is going to be a big winner in the next 5 years. And I am thinking that. I've said that many times. My decisions about what's to come after we get through this retracement phase, it's not about the next few months. It's about the next 3 years to 5 years. And so wherever we land after this retracement, that's a launch pad too. PAXG versus BTC, not USD. That's a good one. Peter Schiff is definitely having a laugh these days. PAX BTC. Okay. Interesting. Daily. Maybe just better against the dollar. Because we know the dollar is going to get. The dollar is what's going to get the haircut, guys. All right, here we have a beautiful weekly pattern. What's the problem? A couple of these counter dot signals will take that back down. Listen, you want to play in gold? Just get gold versus the dollar on retracements. It's already, we've all talked about the printer and all the shenanigans that they have pulled for a long time. In my opinion, that's only going to accelerate. And that doesn't matter who is going to get in the office in November, especially the first year or two. They're going to have to do so many things to keep this party going that it's all going to come down to a devalued dollar. I'll have to do some currencies on Thursday because some of these currency charts, especially like second world non-primary main currencies, they're also doing some strange things. One or two more. And then we'll get to those stocks. What's up, Daniel? Wants to look at Gala. Gala was a good one for us the first few months of the year and rolled right back down. And this is another one where, okay, yes, weekly dots, long-term base, but what can you expect from this? Because we have some patterns. I know this big bat pattern. Even, like I said, even if you knew something about Gala, all right, you have a few patterns. 1.7, some dot confirmation 1.5. Okay, but I don't expect anything to move until we can get weeklies. Go to the weekly. Weekly, get that. It's poking above the 50. Can we get amplified above the 50? So all of these, they're still in need of this month. In my opinion, they're going to be a challenging month. We might not go anywhere net like August, but expect volatility and expect people to get scared out of their positions. I think there's going to be a lot of narrative to come, and people are going to essentially, feel like, oh yeah, this isn't happening, so forget it all. I don't know. What's up, Rodrigo? Spell or drift for Lawrence? I don't know the drift, and spell was one. We talked about spell. Remember spell? That was a type 1 that I was in and took it right out on the daily here. It was a great Gartley, and then came all the way back down. And we called that out for what it was. I think it was a Gartley back here. It escapes me. It was a Gartley here, and then we took it to T1. Death spiral, it's not really death spiral when you've already done the death drop, which is there. Again, it's about a time issue, about utilizing the signals to optimize your time that you have to go through before you realize something. Like here's the big trend line too. So this is all of them. This is all of your crypto that are doing this, that have not progressed. We're back at 2023 lows. I want trends. I want things trending being your friending. Couple more. Let's get to some stocks and wrap up with some stocks. Tesla. What's going on with Tesla? Love Tesla. At the right price. What's the right price? Tesla's like this. Talk about throwing this around. I wish Elon would open up a trading firm and let me get in there with him. Kind of fight the fight. I personally feel like this is a suppressed stock. A lot like XRP and some other ones, that vehicles that have been suppressed. You've got that situation with Tesla on the weekly. Ever since the 260 area, remember that? We were bailing out. Back down for what I would think is the final test. Is that 185? Is that lower? Because we did hit the T2. Look, here's the Gartley. We generated no confirmation. But I don't know how many more months are you going to stay down here on Tesla. Because, yes, it's reminiscent of 2022 in a lot of these stocks. You come down, can we get something going on here and then break above the trend line? Because there's nothing once Tesla busts back out. It's at the right price. The daily's still down until we register. Yeah, remember there was this deep crab. We tagged the weekly structure. We tagged the daily structure. All right. It's just this is like crypto, although not back at all-time lows, but we tried to pierce that downtrend for the first time on the move in June. Let it kind of fester here and give us some kind of signal. It could flush back down one more time and then trigger. It's really close. This is a good one for a lot of reasons, but it's a great one technically to line up and make sure we're following so that when that trigger comes and we know, we're ready. I'll go over to the Qs. A couple others, the big ones. Where's that? Amazon. Amazon, another one. Look, it was a shark to 5.0 right now. Okay, do we come back down off of this 176? Because that would be the perfect type 2 within the long-term uptrend. And that's how I'm looking at a lot of these. Are they trending? Yes. Made a lot of progress in the last couple of years. And that's your constraint. Can we retest that and trigger? Right now it's a counter HSI. Still down. Weekly is like this. Remember the bat? A beautiful bat at 93 way back when. Yes. Here's the other reason why I'm not terribly concerned about Amazon once we get through this reaction, which that's all it was. It was just a reaction because we had a counter HSI move. And now, can we come back and get a dot like 165? Just under 170? And then get ready to resume that channel. Someone wanted to look at who is that? TSL on at TSLL. That's the Tesla Granite shares. And like the Nvidia chart, yeah, we have definitive structures. TSLL coming down here for the type 2. And we talked about this in May and June, being a strong type 1, took it all the way to 15. And here you go. The daily's like that. So daily's still down. What's the last HSI? Like, what's the last arrow? That's one of the reasons why I put this signaling in. If you're, brand new to patterns, what have you, it's real easy just to understand, okay, what's the last HSI arrow? That's down. So still down. Still down here. Any dot? No. But obvious patterns back at 8, 9, where we need to do a little more work. And yeah, there you go. Are we going to come up above the 50? If you did, that would be a good thing. I just think this weekly, the ideal move is 652. A lot going on here. A lot of possibility. Here's the other kind of big possibility that I like. Broadcom down 9 today. Thank you. These are opportunities coming into us. Why? Big bat pattern, type 1 reaction over. Can we tag that for a 2? That's like Nvidia at split adjusted 40, guys. Just because the SOX is down and we want it down, you want this stuff to go down to be able to scoop it up, coming right into a typical October season. All right, it doesn't matter who's going to be president. They're going to need massive semiconductors to do what they want to do, in the next 5 years. And again, I pull up your channel like this and flush down on the bottom end of that channel and go again. The other one that someone mentioned earlier that I do like is PayPal. And PayPal holding up here, hitting resistance at 72, but we have to go to the monthly. PayPal was really sucking wind for 2 years after the massive drop. It's a full reset. And I think that's a lot like Meta at 90 and a bunch of those others from 2022. There you go, all-time chart. All the way up. IPO, full reset. What number are we going to pull up is the 886. That's at 61. Easy recovery move to all-time 382. PayPal is one of those that I really do like. Can we get pullback? Can we get, you're against some bearish dots, okay? You're against a bearish pattern. That's fine. I'm not really too concerned about that because once we resolve this, let's say we come back down. Okay, can we get back down to 65 or 60? It's a massive opportunity. It's not something longer term where I'm saying, okay, PayPal is going to go out of business and we got to, just be dismissive of it. No, this is a massive turnaround happening, giving it to us early. And dare I say, like this kind of a thing. Here's when you turn back up above the 50. Okay, here were the lows from a year ago. Stabilized, finally get above the 50 for the first time. That's a weekly. Hits a nominal test, comes back down, back above the 50, back above the 50. Okay, that's nice development. That's the kind of development I really want to see in these type of stocks or crypto, that clear signs, downtrend violated. Okay, start the basing formation process to get us into a new cycle, 382 minimum. I do like that one. And that's what we should be doing. Forget right now. Okay, forget like being concerned, and let's hope for another 10% quick correction if we can get that. Daniel, OI, what's that, Owings? Is that Owings International? The old Corningware? No, Corning's GLW. OI Glass. Downtrend. A little ABCD. I just, you would want to wait for that to come out. I get the idea, and I don't think it's a bad idea, but can we break this? Can we get out of that channel and really get going? There's the weekly. A ton of patterns. All bearish, though. But this is my thing with crypto. It's downtrending, like there. HSI's, over, just triggered another weekly overbought. So not yet. Let me give you one that is similar in theory, VF Corp. Here's another one. Okay, I like this a lot. Okay, massive pattern. This thing's been been creamed in recent years. COVID, people not shopping, whatever. But monthly, there you go. Monthly we got some patterns. It's dramatically oversold, and I can get into this. Big downtrend. It literally started 2 months ago, back in July, of trying to pierce that. That's more of the kind of setup that I want to see, where this can make progress. I have a better idea of the fact that this thing is based out. There's an initial low, secondary kind of low around 13, 14, now almost 19. But look, you're looking for this thing break above, and we're talking long term, return to 50. And there's several of these. There are several of these. I mean, it's kind of like PayPal too, longer term. Your other one was Tech X, TECX, Tectonic Therapeutic. Yeah, not bad. A couple of patterns there. On the weekly, turning up, but these have to be long. You're not trading these. These are super swings. You're looking to accumulate these, and like VF Corp, buy them in chunks. A little overbought at the moment. Could you come back to 1250 from 18? That would be big percentage move. That's possible. I don't know what happened and why this crashed, but okay, I am thinking in that regard. I'll show you one other one. It's probably going to be a 3 ideas for my crew. Here's another one, Biogen. Done nothing for years, but we're back here with a massive shark right at 200. Is that going out of business? I don't think so. Have you done much in the last many years? 10 years sideways range. But this is really the first pattern on the weekly with a bunch of signals that would at least get me to start looking. And again, levels generally 200, 195, but this is the other thing. Look, break that downtrend. Clear this out. I haven't done anything with it, but I'm watching that as a turnaround candidate. One or two more, and I get out of here. Costco, guys, overbought at the moment. Okay, overbought. Love the story. Love the company's always been just a beautiful trend. Where's the retest? Because 884 with a dot for now is probably capping it. But you go to the weekly kind of a thing. And we tagged this low. I've been tracing that channel out for a long time. Come on back to the low. Okay, and within that channel, and that will continue. I mentioned this last time. I showed you guys also Walmart. These are overextended. I mean, huge overextension of Walmart. All right, but just pull up the channel and look at the channel here. Top range of that adjusted channel, and even say like this. I think that's major progress, but here, it's kind of like an Nvidia Apple chart from years ago. Trying to poke through. I would think that it's going to come back down at least the lower end of the channel. I'm not saying that it's just a free-for-all buy, but that's a major breakout of the 10-year channel. Something's going on there that has my attention, but just not yet. I mean, I would think come back to like 65 area and get ready to go. Quick peek at the stocks, guys. ABCD massive on the monthly. Weekly is like this. Couple things here. Stocks, that's what's really driving today. Nvidia is down. Again, I'm looking at now. It looks scary, but hey, let's adjust it. Where's the channel? What are we doing in this channel? Do we have anything here? A couple of signals, 46. All right, and just like the Broadcom chart, the obvious support here, like 4,500. And just remember what happened in August. It was a throwdown move. Let it do its thing, and then stabilize and turn around. It's there's the channel. Okay, what's the last signal? Overbought here. So let's just wait for that to get to the downside of this channel to resume it. It's a wacky market for sure, but a lot of it is you have things that got overextended, not necessarily a bad thing. And again, I come back to the fact that I think this market is trying to set up for the next 1, 3, 5 years. To do that, we probably need a couple of sharp throwdown moves like we saw in August. I don't think that's going to be the only one. But against each of these retests, the lower trend of the support, that's what we should be lining up. And we get patterns there, even better. That's the signal. Yeah, you got it. No, there's more. There's a lot more of those that are shaping up. You know, like the VF Corp or Costco. Someone's saying Gilead or Biogen. Um, Biogen's like or sorry, Gilead's like Biogen was or is. That was, yeah. There's Gilead, 62. And I'm looking for these to resolve. You know, the multi-year. Notice how that's a 10-year sideways market, but refuses to go down and do anything. I'm looking at that like if it was Coca-Cola or Johnson and Johnson. A lot of these are speaking to me in a major way. Where can we get that? Can we get T2s? T2s on the daily or weekly to set that off? Here's another one. This was a 3 ideas for us. It's Keurig Dr. Pepper. And it just, sideways for several years here, but it's starting to break out. And you see rotation of this stuff. Look, there you go. Break the downtrend, continue go and keep going. Or last one I want to show. Here's Altria. Okay, Altria had some big patterns on both sides. This one's, I mentioned this I think last week, and it's just continuing. Look, bunch of patterns around $40. The daily now like this. It got locked into a range for a long time. A couple of years. I'm long this. I've been long that for years. All the way back here in the high 30s or so, $40. And now you're realizing that breakout. There's a ton of these. I think we got to look more at them going forward. A couple that catch my eye, like here on the chips, there's KLAC down 70 today. Sweet. That's what you want. Where's the 4-hour? What are the likely targets? Yeah, there's a shark back at 680. Again, get ready for these type 2s. These type 2s come in here, they're not going to be around long. And then some of these I'll have for my folks. Because we'll come down, we'll hit them, probably in some stupid capitulation come October, because something's going to happen, and then we go again. So I say all of that to please separate yourself from the noise, get your opportunities lined up, get ready, because it's all coming. All right, that's it for today, guys. I'll be back on Thursday. Again, get over to Harmonic Trader, at least become a basic member over here, and get the TradingView trial, HPC, at sr-analyst.com. Start there and run through all your favorite markets. And my folks, listen, give me a little break. I see the market's down off of that, down under 19.1. Wow. I'll do one more thing. I'll check back in Discord. Give me 30 minutes. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one.